You didn't choose to be born. You didn't choose your family, your body, your starting conditions. You were thrown into existence without warning, without permission, without a manual. And now you're here, conscious, aware. And the question hangs in the air like smoke. What now? Existentialism doesn't give you comfort. It doesn't offer you answers wrapped in cosmic meaning or divine purpose. It strips all of that away and leaves you with the most terrifying truth philosophy has to offer. You are free, completely, utterly, irreversibly free. And that freedom is your burden to carry. Existentialism begins with a simple but devastating observation. Existence precedes essence. You exist first. You are here, alive, conscious, and only after that do you create what you are. There's no predetermined nature, no cosmic blueprint, no essential self waiting to be discovered. You are not a chair that was designed before it was built. You are a human being who exists first and defines themselves second. Jean-Paul Sartre put it bluntly, man first of all exists, encounters himself, surges up in the world, and defines himself afterwards. You are not born with a purpose. You were born, and then you choose. Or you refuse to choose, which is still a choice. This is where most people begin to panic, because if there is no essential nature, no script, no predetermined role you are supposed to play, then you are responsible, fully, completely, for everything you become. You cannot blame God, you cannot blame fate, you cannot blame your circumstances. You are the author of your own existence, whether you want to be or not. And most people do not want to be. Most people spend their entire lives running from this responsibility. They adopt roles. They follow scripts written by others. They let society, religion, culture, family tell them who they are and what they should do. They live in what Sartre calls bad faith. They pretend they are not free. They pretend they have no choice. But existentialism says, you are lying to yourself. You always have a choice, even when you claim you do not. Even when the choice is terrible, even when every option feels impossible, you are still choosing, and that choice defines you. This is the existential condition. You are condemned to be free. You did not ask for this freedom. You may not want it, but you have it, and you cannot escape it. Not through religion, not through ideology, not through distraction. You are alone with your freedom, and that freedom is the heaviest thing you will ever carry. Existentialism is not a philosophy of hope, it is a philosophy of honesty. It looks at the human condition without flinching and says this is what you are, a conscious being in a silent universe, a creature capable of asking why, born into a world that will never answer. And now that you know this, now that you have seen it clearly, you have to decide, what will you do with your freedom? How will you carry the weight? Before existentialism became a philosophy, it was a feeling, a sickness, an anxiety that gnawed at the edges of consciousness. Søren Kierkegaard felt it first. He called it dread. Not fear of something specific, not panic about a particular threat, but a deeper, more pervasive anxiety, the anxiety of existence itself. Kierkegaard saw it clearly. You stand at the edge of infinite possibility. Every choice you make eliminates 1,000 other choices. Every path you take closes off countless others. And you can never know if you chose correctly. You can never know what the other versions of your life might have been. This is the dizziness of freedom, the vertigo of standing before your own life and realizing no one can tell you what to do with it. Kierkegaard was a Christian, but his Christianity was not comforting, it was terrifying. He believed in God, but he also believed that faith required a leap, a jump into the absurd, a decision to believe despite the lack of rational justification. You cannot prove God exists. You cannot reason your way to faith. You can only leap, and that leap is yours alone to make. No one can make it for you, and if you do not leap, you remain suspended in anxiety, aware of your freedom, but paralyzed by it. Then came Nietzsche. And Nietzsche did not leap. Nietzsche looked at the same void Kierkegaard saw and declared, God is dead and we have killed him. This was not a celebration, it was a diagnosis. For centuries, God had been the anchor, the source of meaning, the justification for morality, purpose, suffering. But modernity had eroded that foundation. Science, reason, skepticism had made belief harder and harder to sustain. And now, Nietzsche said, we're standing in the ruins. God is dead, and we do not yet understand what that means. We do not yet feel the full weight of it. Because if God is dead, then meaning is dead, morality is dead, purpose is dead. Everything we built on that foundation is collapsing, and most people are still living as if the ground beneath them is solid. But Nietzsche saw the abyss. He saw that without God, without transcendent meaning, humanity would face a crisis unlike any before, a crisis of nihilism, the recognition that nothing matters, that all values are human inventions, that there is no cosmic order, no ultimate justice, no final redemption, just existence, brutal, indifferent, meaningless existence. And Nietzsche asked, can humanity survive this? Can we create our own values in the absence of divine authority? Can we affirm life even when we know it has no inherent meaning? He believed we could, but only if we became something greater. Only if we transcended the need for external validation, only if we embraced the void and created meaning anyway. But most people cannot do this. Most people need the comfort of a script, and when that script is taken away, they collapse into despair or cling to new dogmas. This is the crisis existentialism begins with, the death of God, the collapse of meaning, and the question, what now? Jean-Paul Sartre took Kierkegaard's anxiety and Nietzsche's void and turned them into a complete philosophy. And his conclusion was even bleaker. You are condemned to be free. Not blessed, not liberated, condemned. Because freedom is not a gift, it is a sentence. You do not ask to be responsible for your own existence. You did not choose to be thrown into a world with no instructions. But here you are. And every moment of your life, you are choosing. Even when you think you are not, even when you claim you had no choice, you are lying. Sartre was unforgiving about this. He rejected every excuse, every attempt to escape responsibility. You cannot say, I had to do it, my boss made me, my parents expected it, society pressured me, because at every moment you could have chosen differently. The consequences might have been terrible, the cost might have been unbearable, but the choice was still there, and you made it. This is bad faith, the lie you tell yourself to escape the weight of freedom. You pretend you are not free, you adopt a role and hide inside it. The dutiful employee, the obedient child, the faithful believer. You perform the script so convincingly that you forget you were performing. You convince yourself this is who you are. But Sartre says no. You are not your role, you are not your job, you are not the expectations placed on you. You are the freedom beneath all of that. And that freedom is what you are running from. Because to live authentically, to live in full acknowledgement of your freedom is terrifying. It means accepting that you are the author of your life, that no one else can write it for you, that every choice is yours, every failure is yours, every compromise is yours, and you cannot hide behind fate or duty or obligation. Simone de Beauvoir extended this further. She saw that society does not just give you scripts, it traps you in them. Especially if you were a woman, especially if you were marginalized. The world tells you who you are before you have a chance to choose, and breaking free from those definitions requires an act of rebellion. It requires refusing the roles imposed on you and insisting on your own freedom. But freedom is not enough. You must also act. You must create. You must define yourself through your choices. Sartre said, man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. You are not a static thing. You are a project, a constant becoming, and that project is never finished. You are always in the process of creating yourself until you die. And this is exhausting because there is no moment of arrival, no point where you can say, I have become who I am. There is only the endless work of choosing, the endless weight of freedom. And most people cannot bear it, so they retreat into bad faith. They pretend they are not free, and they live lives written by others. But Sartre offers no comfort for this, only condemnation. And then there is Camus, standing at the edge of all this freedom, all this responsibility, all this weight, and asking, But what if it is all meaningless anyway? What if you create yourself through your choices, define yourself through your actions, live authentically, refuse bad faith, and at the end of it all, the universe still does not care? What if your freedom, your project, your existence, all of it is absurd? This is where existentialism meets the abyss, not just the death of God, not just the burden of freedom, but the recognition that even your choices, even your authenticity, even your rebellion might be cosmically pointless. Camus saw the same human condition as Sartre, but he did not stop at freedom. He went further. He said, yes, you are free. Yes, you must choose, but the universe will never validate those choices. Your life will never mean anything beyond what you decide it means in the moment. And even that meaning is temporary, fragile, ultimately erased by time. This is the absurd, the gap between what you want, meaning, purpose, cosmic significance, and what the universe offers: silence. And Camus asked the same question he asked about suicide: is life worth living in the face of this absurdity? His answer, again, was revolt. Not the revolt of creating values like Nietzsche, not the revolt of authentic choice like Sartre, but the revolt of living anyway, fully, consciously, without hope. You embrace the absurd. You acknowledge that your life is meaningless, that your freedom leads nowhere, that you are Sisyphus pushing a boulder up a mountain forever, watching it roll back down and pushing it again. And you do it anyway. Not because it will eventually mean something, not because the gods will relent, but because you are alive. And this is what being alive is: the endless repetition, the struggle without resolution, the creation of meaning in a universe that erases it. And Camus says, one must imagine Sisyphus happy, not because he has found meaning, but because he has stopped looking for it. He has accepted the absurd and kept living. This is existentialism's final answer. You are free, you are responsible, you are alone, and none of it matters in any ultimate sense. But you are here, conscious, capable of choice, capable of creation, capable of defiance, and that is enough. Not because it leads somewhere, not because it will be remembered, but because it is yours, your freedom, your burden, your life. Existentialism does not comfort you. It does not tell you everything will be okay. It does not promise meaning or purpose or cosmic justice. It tells you the truth. You are alone in a silent universe. You are responsible for everything you become, and you will die and be forgotten, and none of it will have mattered. And then it says, now live. Create yourself, choose, revolt, not because you will win, but because you are free. And that freedom, that terrible, beautiful, suffocating freedom, is the only thing you truly have.